Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Colorful Kid Podcast. This episode, we're going to go through the October roster release, some tactics going forward for Mexico, and we're going to talk a little bit of the World Cup roster, see if we can make some predictions, and then we'll probably end the episode with the U20 discussion. Granted, we are recording this literally right before the knockout games, but we'll talk a little bit. Something tells me we'll talk about Gilberto Mora. Nayib, how's it going, man?
What's it going, bro? Great to be here, Raul. And yeah, I mean it's we're living in Morita's world. I mean, I think 2025 is his year. I mean, in terms of what happened in the Gold Cup, what happened last month with El Tri. I mean, you can say the statement without fear. El Tri missed Morita in those games, and that's why El Tri couldn't beat Japan and they couldn't beat South Korea because there was no evolution in the midfield. No, and I think that says a lot about the player that we have in front of us. I mean, it's unprecedented. I don't think we've ever had this type of player. He's only 16 and he's so influential.
And I know a lot of people were kind of saying, why is he at the World Cup? Why is he at the U20?
Yeah.
The hype has been building. I've seen a lot more online talk about him since this World Cup started.
The world knows now about him
Yeah,
more,
I
you
get it.
know?
He was playing first team games at Cholos, but there's a difference between playing playing against Mazatlan on a Wednesday night than it is playing against Spain and Brazil's U20.
Yeah. No, and he's still 4 years out of
Yeah, there's a
when he's 16
U17 World Cup later this fall that he
that
could
he's not
technically
going
play.
to.
He's not going to, but he can be there without
Yeah.
any
And this is a midfielder that has what, 3 goals already? 3 goals. And
3 goals, 1 assist.
He's 1 goal away. If he scores tonight against Chile, he'll tie Pedro Pineda's record in 1991, where he scored 4 goals. Pineda, I think he ended up playing in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a very, very intriguing career, that one. But he could break the record as the top goal scorer in U20. It wasn't Carlos Vela, it wasn't Chicharito. It was it could be Morita as a midfielder. Says a lot.
Yeah. Before we get to the U20s, I figured we just kind of quickly go over the October roster. Some missing people. Edson Alvarez, he is regaining fitness. He started over the weekend and he played some Europa League last week as well.
That's good.
Yep. Rodrigo Huescas, bad news,
I know.
torn ACL. They
Yeah,
haven't said
definitely.
his timeline, but I mean, he's done. He's not gonna.
I mean, he could arrive, let's hope, very with practically no minutes. I mean, I think he's the sort of player that I could potentially see Vasco and Rafa waiting it out to the last week or so.
I mean, one
Because
thing to keep in mind, it hasn't been officially announced. I believe we're gonna stick with 26 man
yeah.
roster.
And look, there has, unless these Jorge Sanchez, Araujo, Kevin Alvarez
Kevin
in
Alvarez.
this month, if they just excel to the dimensions of, like, say we're okay without him. I mean, I think there's not a right back like Huesca. So if there's a player that you can wait it out till the last minute, it's him, because there's just not a fullback of that sort right now.
Raul Jimenez hurt, banged his shoulder. He is out. Roberto Piojo Alvarado also banged up, so he's not on the call up
This is the
list.
first call up with Vasco that Raul is not present, I believe. I mean, he's been present from the first day with Vasco Aguirre. And you can say that Raul Jimenez is the reason his Vasco's third tenure with El Tri has been so solid, because he's had Raul present.
He's
The
the
goals
glue.
against the US, he scored all the goals in the Nations League, I mean, which was a big deal. And not having him now present could be a complication. It requires others to step up, without a doubt.
Put up or shut up time for Santi Jimenez.
Basically.
I'm
Yeah.
a Santi fan, but this is it. Like, this is not going to be a 15-minute cameo. It's like, no, you're going to start
Yeah,
at
and you gotta do
least one of these
something.
games. Yeah, you're going to have to do something, just to see what you can do. Yeah, Piojo's also out, and then we had some returns this week or this month. Quiñones is back. Carlos Acevedo's back. Luis Romo, did not see him coming back. You already mentioned Kevin Alvarez, which we need a backup right back at the very least. I think it's gonna be Sanchez starting, but we need a right back, a number two, because Araujo's not playing. Huescas is probably done, so good chance for Alvarez to play his way back into the squad. And then Alexis Gutierrez, his first call up since November 2024.
which is a rare one, that one, I would say. That surprised me a little bit. I mean, I haven't seen that many games with him with America, to be honest, but I feel that, what he did with Cruz Azul was also, influenced. That's when he got his first color, when he was with Cruz Azul. So, I mean, the thing about Alexis maybe is he's very left-footed, no? And so you don't really have those players in the national team that are just naturally left-footed, and I think that's why he's in the mix.
So that's it for the October roster. We play Colombia on the 11th and Ecuador on the 14th. And then next month we play Uruguay and Paraguay during that window. I figured now is a good time taking in that roster. Obviously, what we've seen since Vasco got called up and kind of go through some predictions, some roster calls, see who we think is in, who is out. And let's just go position by position. Goalkeepers. I have five keepers in the pool. I got Malagon, Rangel, Moreno, Ochoa, and Acevedo. I think we both agree that Malagon is in.
Yeah, we did.
Bearing obviously this discussion is all bearing health. So yeah, I think Malagon is in. I think Ochoa is gonna be in as a number three.
Mhm. But the thing with Ochoa that's interesting is that he didn't get called up for this one, no, and he's already playing, no, in Cyprus, which is interesting. I mean, that's where it got me a little bit, like, confused. Acevedo, I don't think Acevedo might, but the Ochoa situation is strange. I mean, if Ochoa doesn't get called up next month, I think
Then it's
that's
a
when
bigger
you
story. I think
yeah,
it's a
you
bigger
know what I
story
mean?
next month. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he's had what, 2 games, 3 games since.
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
I'm okay with him not getting called up if he's not gonna start.
Mhm.
You're almost better off, "Hey, it's a long flight, stay over there with your team, get acclimated." But yeah, come November, if he's not called up in November, then it kinda changes the picture for me in terms of
Okay, it's like, what's going on here?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's when really starts getting serious.
yeah, but all things said, Malagon, number 1, Ochoa, number 3. Number 2, I don't think anyone has stepped up and grabbed this spot. Rangel, I know he's been playing in front of rotated sides in front of him. Doesn't do anything for me. Moreno, Acevedo. I mean, Acevedo had hype a few years ago, but I
And look, Acevedo in this game against America, I mean, if it wasn't for him, they could have been a 7-0. I mean, that's how bad Santos looked. And props to Acevedo. I mean, and he's inspired because he's getting called up again. He's getting the looks, but I mean, of course, like we said, he's in the mix, but not to the point of being in the roster right now. But he's in the mix now, and it's kind of sad though that when you look at the list, I remember when we used to have Ochoa, Talavera, and Corona, we were spoiled. Now that
we
you
were
think
s
about it, we were fucking spoiled.
yeah,
And now you
later
look at it,
on,
it's like it's like, oh, I don't know. We really have a good core of goalkeepers.
yeah, it's from what, from '02 until now,
Yeah.
we've kinda had top level goalkeepers for the last 20 years,
Yeah. And now
and
it's sort
now
of
it's
like,
like
shaky.
yeah, so Malagon, Ochoa are in. I put Rangel as the most likely guy to get called up.
And Chivas are playing, I think the last weeks with Chivas, the momentum is positive. So that could influence Rangel as well, no? That, he's playing in a team that has dramatically dropped their age, their average age as well, no? So I think that things are starting to click with Milito, and I think that could help him as well in his pursuit of being in the national team.
So, yeah, I gave him the best chances of being the other keeper. I don't see Moreno or Acevedo doing enough to getting called up.
Nah.
So, and I fully expect Mexico to bring 3 keepers. So, moving on to right back, I'm assuming Mexico will bring 2 natural right backs, and then someone else can slide over if needed. But I think for me, Sanchez is going. He's in. He's a lock. For the backup, I don't know. Huescas, Araujo, we're kind of fighting out. Araujo's not playing. Huescas is hurt. This is Kevin Alvarez's time to prove that I can play at this level. I can make the roster. So I think it's gonna be between Araujo and Alvarez for that second spot.
Araujo and Alvarez. Yeah. I mean, right now, let's hope, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I mean, I just hope that Huescas can miraculously return just before the World Cup starts.
I just hope it's not another one of those Tecatito situations where Tata's like, "Oh yeah, he's good. He's we're holding out a spot for him," and then Tecatito doesn't come back for 3 more months after the
Yeah.
World Cup.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a very difficult one because, like I said, I mean, he started the season so well. I mean, to be honest, when you see him in the Champions League and Copenhagen is you gotta also understand it's Copenhagen. I mean, it's not your big team, and if you're able to compete at a top level with that team and that background in the Champions League, it says a lot about the talent in the squad. And Huescas is one of the standouts of that team.
Yeah, but I think we're stuck with Sanchez there. Araujo, I don't know. He's not seeing any time. I think
No,
Bournemouth is technically number 4 in the Premier League right now.
it's crazy, and they made so many, the important
Yeah,
players left.
yeah. I think if he's not seeing the field come January, I think they loan him out to a La Liga club.
He'll have no choice. He has to get loaned out if he wants to still be considered. He needs minutes. He needs to play, and that's kind of the situation with him. Also, keep in mind with the right back situation, Israel Reyes is an option.
And that's why I
Very
said
a very
natural.
serious,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, very very serious option that he's gonna start some games as a right.
And he's another guy. Like, I think he can move over and play. I don't wanna see Reyes start because he doesn't push up as much.
Yeah,
He's more of a stay-at-home right back.
this is just basically
Yeah,
tactical shifting because if you start Reyes, it means that you have three center backs. And it means that the left back, in this case, it could be Gallardo, Mateo Chavez. They can just roam, go freely up top and become
yeah.
another attack.
Moving on to left backs, I think Mexico will also bring 2 natural left backs. I think it's gonna be Chavez and Gallardo.
Those are locked. I
I
didn't
don't
see that unless
see
something.
yeah. I was hoping Arteaga would do something, but nah, it's gonna be
No.
health, everything health-wise.
Arteaga's career, when he left Belgium, I think that's when it was, there's no chance
Yeah,
he'll do something, no?
yeah. And Mateo Chavez just on the rise the last 10 months.
Yeah, Mateo has been one of the standouts, to be honest. When he's playing for El Tri in the last, I wouldn't say the last couple of call-ups, I mean, he's one of the standouts. I mean, every minute he's on the field, there's something that goes on. It might not be when you have a left back, is you want him to finish the play either with a cross or with a shot. Do something, but don't pass back or don't pass horizontal. And the thing about that I like about Chavez is that he goes all the way and he finds a way to either cross or finish the play. Which
And
is
his
what you
teammates
want.
look for him. When you like the last game, the second game, I think, yeah, the Japan game, his teammates I think did we play Korea second?
Yeah, in
Oh, yeah.
Nashville.
In the Korean game, like, his teammates just were finding him on the wing, they were looking for him, so that's always a good sign, but yeah, those 2 guys, Gallardo, Chavez, health-wise, as long as everyone's healthy, those are gonna be the 2 left backs next summer. In terms of center backs, I think Mexico brings 4 center backs. I got Vasquez,
Montes.
this Chiquete Orozco, and then 1 more spot. I'd probably give it to either Reyes or
Hmm.
Purata. Those are guys in the mix for the last center back spot. Anyone
Interesting.
else come to mind to you that can make it on the flight?
Right now I think we gotta check out really what goes on in Tigres, especially with Purata there. But also the other one, Angulo, no? Is it the one that played for Atlas?
Jesus Angulo?
Uh-huh. Because he can do that multi sort of movement as a fullback and as a center back. And he's left-footed, I believe, no?
Yeah, yeah, he's left-footed.
So that's the thing. He might come into the mix maybe because of those abilities. I think he's been out injured or something. That's why he hasn't been in the picture, on the radar. Because I'm not completely sold with Chiquete Orozco, to be honest.
I'm not, but I think he is basically Johan's backup.
No.
He's a left-footed center back who can play on the left side of a three-man back line, or he can just be the left-footed center back, which, as you know, every coach needs at least 2 of them on the team.
Nah.
So, I think he's just stuck there. Because if Angulo fits that bill, he can play center back, he can play left back, he's left-footed, so I think, and he was on the 31-man preliminary squad for the World Cup, but he didn't make the 26 in, 2022. So I think you're onto
You
something. I
have
think there's something there.
There is something going on because, for example, with Edson Alvarez, Luis Romo, and even Lira. Those are 3 players that can play you as a holding midfielder, and they can drop back as center backs. The thing also with Luis Romo, he's one of Vasco's favorites. I mean, he actually Vasco has said it, that he likes him as a player, and the thing that he hasn't been involved in the last months is because he was just out of shape, and now he has recuperated some momentum, and it wouldn't be surprising to see Romo start in one of these games with Colombia or Ecuador, and if he stands out, even if, it'll be surprising if he puts him as a center back. I think that's the thing that with those players that they can give you different positions. And I think Vasco likes that.
Yeah, some of our D mids, some of our center backs are kind of interchangeable,
Hmm.
especially if you wanna switch it up mid-game, you wanna go to a back 5 or something. Those players kinda give you that a little the positional flexibility.
And I think it's important to note Montes has been a weak link, I think, in the last games for El Tri. I mean, he hasn't looked so confident.
He's a player I think is gonna miss a game in the World Cup just because of yellow card accumulation.
And I think you don't want that. I mean, but I also get that Montes is impeccable in set piece plays. I mean, you want him involved in those on both ends of the field, defensively and offensively. So I think that's what gives him an advantage over the rest. I mean, he becomes a scoring option. I mean, in the Gold Cup, I think he scored what, 3 goals or something.
Yeah, and if you play a number 6 that's gonna sit in front of the center backs, that kind of minimizes the chances of Montes being stuck one-on-one with someone, and that's, I think, where he gets in trouble.
Yeah,
He doesn't have the pace. He's a tall dude, but if you have, like, an Edson or Lida sitting in front of him kinda protecting the 2 center backs, you can get away with Montes back there, but I just
yeah,
think he gets too many dumb yellows, and in a
yeah.
tournament like this, 2 yellows and you miss a game? I
Yeah,
hate that
yeah, but
rule,
I but
but
I think, and look, Montes has already been in the mix since what? I want to say since 2008, 19 up to now. He's been there.
yeah.
He's constantly been present in the.
Moving on to midfielders. I think we bring 8 midfielders. Granted, some of these guys you can kind of count as maybe different. Like the midfielders forwards is kind of a mishmash of guys, but the guys I have as locks going to 2026: Edson,
Okay.
Marcel Ruiz, Orbelin Pineda,
Huh?
Mora, Lida.
Lira. That's five. And we need three more, no?
And then in the mix, Romo, Eric Sanchez, Charlie Rodriguez, Montiel. I have Luis Chavez, even though I don't think he's gonna be back in time.
You can even put Vargas in there, bro.
I want to until he gets called up. I just don't know.
And then before we started recording, we talked about Fidalgo.
Yeah, Fidalgo, that's another guy. I think he's
That's
in. If he wants to play for Mexico, he's in.
Yeah, that's how it's looking.
He's in. I think if he's committed to the
I mean, I
project,
feel I feel like, when you bring in names like Montiel, Vargas, I find it very interesting that Rafa Marquez is in Chile right now. I don't know if he already made the trip back to Mexico for this camp, and
I know he was
but
there for game 1.
he was down there, and the reason he's down there is because, like Vasco has said, if things work out well, he's the next coach. So since he's the next coach, he already wants to see who's gonna be in his team, no? And it's very obvious that Mora, Vargas, Montiel, they're gonna be part of the mix of the next World Cup.
I mean,
But
if you
what?
think
But
about
why
it,
not? Why not bring them over for this one so they can be part of the mix?
remember 26-man roster. That it used to be 23. Now you got a couple wiggle room to bring a couple guys that, hey,
It's like
maybe
one
they're
of
not
the
gonna play, but next World Cup.
look. I mean, you have Orbelin Pineda as likely, no, or not likely as a lock. But I feel like Orbelin already went to a World Cup, and I don't know if he doesn't offer anything. In my opinion, he doesn't offer anything that is extraordinary.
No consistency, that's for sure.
So it's like, might as well put Vargas in there when you know that, there's a lot of win-win here. If Vargas is part of this World Cup, his price tag is gonna go up, no? Which means that he'll probably get attraction from let's hope that by the time this World Cup comes, he's already in Europe, but you never know. He might still be in the Sounders, which is not bad because he'll still be playing and, getting minutes. But I feel like, if you have Montiel, Vargas in this mix already, Why not? Like, even if, you can make the argument that Vargas has the talent to start. If
Yes.
Mora has the talent to start, Vargas has it as well. So it's sort of like, it's the decisions that Vasco has to do because, if you take, for example, a Pineda, Charlie Rodriguez, a Chiquito Sanchez, these are 25-year-olds that they're not gonna
We
change
know
you
what
the
they are.
game.
We
Yeah,
know what they
and then
are.
they're not gonna change you the game. It's not like
They're guys that maybe lift the floor of the team, but they're not
elevate
gonna
the level.
yes, exactly. And with these other guys, you never know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but I would rather give Vargas minutes than Luis Romo right now.
Yeah, because that is definitely building for the future. I mean, if you look back at recent World Cups for Mexico, the average age is just exaggerated. Old is old, no? So it's like there's really no progression in terms of like evolution of a good proceso that takes years. No, here they're decorating it as one with with Marquez already being an assistant and knowing that Marquez is going to take over the team after
We're
2026.
10 months away from Rafa being the head coach. 10
So it's
months.
like, why not make a planification that actually does integrate some of these kids in the youth 20 into these. And we're not saying these are kids that already have played more than 1,000 first division minutes. I mean, these are not, these are really good
Vargas has
pros.
100 first team games
Yeah.
with Sounders. He played Club World Cup. He's played CONCACAF since he was 16 years old.
So he's ready. He's ready. I mean, there's no, there's not like they're giving him the place because he's a youngster. No, no, it's because he's been playing and he's playing pretty good.
I
So
mean,
we'll see.
he was part of the Seattle team that beat the crap out of Cruz Azul. Was it 7-0?
7-0. They beat the crap out of Inter Miami too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
with Messi, Jordi, and Busquets. I mean, Vargas pissed off Busquets. Who does that? Like,
Busquets punched him, bro.
yeah,
What?
it's like you gotta be a freaking G to do that, yo, to provoke Busquets to punch you on the face. I mean,
Yeah,
not
respect. And he's done what with especially in game 1 with the U20s of the World Cup. I'm surprised he got subbed out early on in, like, the 70th minute or something like that, but
what is it's just minutes, I guess, and I mean, because he the last game against Morocco, which was a must win, he played the whole game. So I mean, that it shows you that how important he is for the coach for Addison.
yeah, so I would love if Vargas gets included, and you're right, I didn't think about, Rafa kind of vouching like, "Hey, last 2 spots, let's not give it to Romo, let's bring Vargas or Montiel because they're gonna be the backbone of my team, of my
Exactly.
2030 team." So, a lot of things you can do in the midfield, but and maybe you're right, maybe it's like, "Hey, this window, specifically this window, maybe Vasco tries out all the older midfield options and says, 'Hey,
This
I'm
is
only
it.
gonna this is it. Show me something. Otherwise, come November, Diel Vargas are gonna get a shot.'"
Which I think it's. I mean, one of the reasons Vasco is in the mix too. I mean, it's what he did with the Nations League and the Gold Cup is to win time and to win the opportunity to test things out. I think he has that right, especially look, if the U20 goes deep in this World Cup, let's hope, if they go, maybe semis, let's say, there will be a a consensus that there's no criticism or no critique if you call up several of these U20 players in the November, just to see them and see what's up, and if they have the capabilities to make the final roster.
And another thing to keep in mind with I don't think Vargas is gonna move in January. Assuming he doesn't move in January, he can play in that Mexico has like a friendly and a non-FIFA date friendly in January. He
Yeah.
can play that. Vasco can call him up, can call up Montiel, can call up Mora. He could play with those guys on the quote unquote senior team. I know it won't be a full FIFA international window, so it's not going to be a full squad. But similar to how when we played River Plate last January, it's just another game for Vasco to take a look at him. So
No, no, and that was important. No, that was important for Lira, for example. Lira, that's where he won his role in the team.
moving on to the forwards, I think Mexico brings 7. It's instead of forwards, just attackers.
Yeah.
Attackers. I have Santi Jimenez, Raul Jimenez, Piojo Alvarado, Vega, Huerta.
Huh.
That's 5 guys I think are locks.
Locks.
And then in terms of other people in the mix, Quiñones, Lainez, Lozano, and then I guess Sepulveda and Berterame. I don't think Sepulveda or Berterame make it, but those are the guys I think are in the mix for the last couple spots.
I think this particular, and it's pretty special because Quiñones is Colombian. He was born in Colombia, and it might be that the game for him to prove himself that he deserves to be with Mexico is that game, no? If he plays and starts, because he's scoring a lot of goals in Saudi Arabia, and I think that's something that gets the attention, especially from the Americanista point of view. Is like, why is he not, in the mix to be a sure lock? But it's he hasn't really found his groove with Vasco. I mean, he's
Should it be a
you know,
positional thing with him? I know we talked about it before the pod when we were talking about who Camberos with the U20, but where does he fit? Is
nah,
his best role as a second striker, but we don't use a second striker in the national team?
nah.
And then as a winger, it's not as effective, but that's the only that's the only place he can play. Unless we go back to the 2 forwards and we have him as the second striker, not Santi.
Nah.
It's a really damn if you do, damn if you don't situation with him. I think he's a good weapon off the bench, especially.
I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, there has to be some sort of chemistry as well. If there's no chemistry between him and Vasco, it ain't gonna work. No matter if it's a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, whatever. No, it's the thing about chemistry, and what he did with Atlas, with Coca's Atlas, and then Jardines America, it's notorious. I mean, the dude won back-to-back titles with both teams. I mean, he has some skill. This is not a random dude that just is lucky. I mean, I think he does cause trouble to the defenders when there's open space up top, and you find the that last pass and let him, escape through the back of the center backs. He's really good at that. But I feel like sometimes the styles sometimes just don't work out. Like, I think Quiñones has one velocity, no? It's sort of like it's all out fast on the break. And with Del Tri, when you have someone like Vega in the mix, there's more pass. You need pass in order to start the plays, no? So it's like Quiñones is ideal for, I don't know, for a game against Portugal. Those games where you know that El Tri is gonna sit back. You need,
Counter.
that counter. And if you give him that responsibility, I feel like Quiñones will play. And against Colombia, which is a team that also likes the ball, and we'll see the 11 how it works out. But they got Luis Diaz, they got James, Rios,
Should be a
who
good game.
so it's a team that really likes the ball. Maybe you can play Quiñones on the counter, Quiñones and Jimenez, the two up top, and see how that works out. I mean, I think also the situations that Quiñones has been placed on haven't been that many in terms of like Mexico being on the counter. Maybe the Mexico Canada game, and
It's
I
like
think he came
I mean, with CONCACAF, it's only against Canada
in the
and maybe
US
the
sometimes.
US.
Yeah.
Other than
And that's
that,
recent,
Mexico
bro. That's
yeah,
recent.
yeah,
That didn't used to be the case at all.
yeah. But you're right, Mexico is in CONCACAF, Mexico's hardly on the counterattack. They're more of like, "We're gonna have the ball 60% of the time. We need a number 10." So it's a different need, but when you're not gonna have the ball and you're playing against a quote unquote "better team," yeah, you need speed on the outside.
You need someone that can, be crashing with the center backs of the opposing team with authority. And I think Quinones does that well. I mean, he's not scared to crash with the center backs of the opposing team. And there is a little bit of, like I said, there's a little bit of orgullo. The fact that if he's gonna play against Colombia, all Colombia is gonna be watching. They're gonna be curious to
It
see
does he
what this
celebrate if he scores? That's all I
exact.
care about.
Well, he has to at this point. No, he's made
Yeah, he better 'cause the
millions.
man.
He's made millions of dollars because of being a Mexican citizen at this point.
So yes, so Jimenez, Avelado, Vega, Huerta, that's 5, and if we bring 7, we're gonna need to bring 2 out of Quiñones, Lainez, and Lozano. Who are you bringing if you are Vasco? Out of those 3, you gotta bring 2 of them.
Well, this is tough because I feel like, I mean, I've been Quinones for sure, and it's between Linus and Chucky. So sort of like, I mean, I feel Linus does a better team than Lozano. I feel Lozano sometimes just doesn't. I mean, I was expecting a little bit more in the last
Mhm.
month, and I didn't see much. I mean, it wasn't nothing spectacular. Kind of similar to what I've been seeing from Orbelin and Charlie. It's like, it's he's there. He has, of course, Chucky has more prestige, and I understand that. But it wasn't amazing, no. And I felt like Linus did more. Oh, he did more on the field when he was called up. So it's like if I have to pick between Linus and Lozano right now, I go with Linus.
One aspect, and we'll just move on to the other topic, tactics moving forward to Mexico. After the last window, I was kind of pushing the, "Let's go with the 3-5-2.
No, and that
Let
was a nice article. Nice article that you wrote.
let Chavez and Huescas just bomb down the sidelines," but now Huescas is gone. Let me throw a scenario for you out there. Lainez at right wing back,
It looks
just to
nice.
see what the hell happens.
No, and he's not, he's not, what's the word? He won't be scared for the opportunity. He'll play it out. Right now I think with Linus is he has nothing to lose. I mean, he's this sort of player that, you know, was debuted by La Volpe at a very young age. We're talking a lot about Mora. Linus, not at the Mora level, but it was, that sort of same feeling and same sort of interest,
The hype was
and
real.
the hype was real, no? And so now he's a little bit more developed, more mature, better at defensive duties than he used to be. And I feel he still has that sort of knack surprise of going all the way to the wing and do stuff.
Is it like Javier Aquino 2.0? A winger that kind of drops back a
Yeah.
little bit, and I mean, Aquino's still going, so that's his
Yeah. Yeah.
teammate too.
Technically, he's very gifted. He's always been very gifted. And I think, that's an option. That what you just said right now. It's a when you think about it's an inverted winger playing as a right back, basically, So but he gives you a lot with his left foot. So, and he has that creative capability as well, no? So it doesn't really rely all on Vega to be the creative dude. You have Linus that can also do creative stuff.
I mean, it allows whoever he's with on that right side, Linus can provide the width, and whoever is the guy that he can cut in. It's just because I wrote that because Mexico's wingers, a couple years now, nothing.
Yeah,
No consistency, nothing, and it's like, well, granted, this is a month ago. If you have these 2 attacking fullbacks, just let them go.
let them fly. Yeah,
Let them fly. You play 3 in the back. You have Lita or Edson in front of the center backs. Just let the fullbacks provide the width. I don't know if Linus can do it. It's just something interesting. Just, hey, let's just see it. I don't know.
and it just goes to show the capabilities. No, I mean, I feel Linus offers you more variety than Lozano. No, and in terms of like, he can play you here, there. Lozano's very straightforward. No, a little bit.
I think
Lozano,
Huerta is basically, if Huerta doesn't make it, Lozano make, like, you bring Huerta or Lozano,
yeah.
right?
And look, it looks like Vasco really loves Chucky. No, I mean he's put a lot of time and effort, with him, and this is another opportunity in this month. No, it's like, okay, what are you gonna do? He really has to do something that stands out. I mean, it can't just be he plays and there's a lot of effort and stuff. No, there has to be a little bit more because if he really wants to be at the level of a Raul Jimenez or these players that clearly have they're above everyone else. I mean, you got to do stuff to be above everyone else, and I feel Chucky feels that he's above everyone else, but he hasn't done anything in a couple of years. No, so it's sort of like this is a moment too. Like we said, it is a moment for Santi but also for Lozano. And it's that sort of dispute with Quiñones because if Quiñones plays and he does more than Lozano, then he's practically pretty erased at that point, no? But there's a lot of things I like to consider.
Yeah, those spots on that roster, I mean, you say, "Oh, it's 26 guys." You bring up, so and so can make it. You start doing the math, and it's like, it's down to 3 guys for 2 spots or,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
And look, a lot of Chivas fans were talking about Hormiga, no, and I understand he's been playing pretty good right now. He's the best Mexican striker in Liga MX, numbers wise, no.
I mean,
But
Hormiga is a number 9, you would say, right?
yeah,
He's
he's a
not
number
gonna
nine.
play in front of Jimenez's. It's just numbers. It's just a
Yeah,
position and a role.
exactly. Not to say that he's not good. He's really good, and I hope he continues on the same track he's in.
And who knows? Someone gets hurt, someone something. He could be part of that, the 3 or 4 players that get called up as possible injury replacements.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, uno nunca sabe. Uno
Uno
nunca
nunca
sabe.
sabe. Sí, sí. And like we said, there is that player that, he's out of the radar right now, and all of a sudden, bam,
Last 6
he's there.
months before the World Cup, a new player will pop up and you're like, "Oh, yeah, he's gonna go to the World Cup."
Yeah.
A player who has maybe 1 no caps right now. No senior caps, no senior caps.
No senior cap.
One of the questions I kinda wanted to touch on here is, we're talking about World Cup and rosters. Who's your favorite player to miss out on the World Cup or make the roster but not play?
I
For
have to
me,
say,
go ahead.
Cuauhtemoc Blanco in 2006.
That's an interesting way. In my head, I was thinking of the question as people who never played in the World Cup.
Uh-huh.
But if you include snubs like that, then the player pool gets bigger.
Yeah.
For me, some of like Jota Corona, 3 World Cups, no games. Chapo Montes, from the end of 2013 to 2014, that
Yeah,
man he was the boss. Terrible injury and that cursed AT&T field, misses the 2014 World Cup.
and after he's returning to that damn field again.
Yep.
Ay, ay, ay.
Mexico, and I think he gets one more call up in 2018, but never again part of the pool. And
No.
all of his caps are like in 18 months. He was that player for 12 to 18 months in Liga MX and just injury, bad timing.
Yeah, yeah.
Another player, his son is going to be there, but Dilon Chavez, he was the last player cut from the 1998 roster. The coach said it was between him and Gabrito.
Cabrito, well,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
right
those
now
are the
Cabrito's a little bit,
yeah.
him.
But yeah, those I mean, it's special to play in a World Cup, much less a home World Cup. You need to have so many things go right to make a World Cup roster. Timing, peak, manager, tactics.
Manager's important,
Yeah.
because La Volpe was like, "I'm not taking Cuauhtemoc. It doesn't matter." And when you think about it, I mean, shoot, man, that's a player that El Tri needed in that,
Yeah.
to complete the puzzle.
Well, let's just talk about this for a minute or two before we get out of here to go watch the game. But besides, or maybe we'll talk about Mora real quick. He's living up to the hype. Is he just I don't know, man. He has the perfect agent. His agent is already talking up offers coming in. So the hype is real around Mora. 3 goals, 1 assist.
No, and he's look impeccable. No, the responsibility, the sort of like role of like the aura he has. He
He's
he
the
already
man.
knows. He already knows he's the one. It's like
Yeah,
I'm the one. So it's like I'm gonna treat this as it's supposed to be. You came to see me, and then I'll give you a show. It's basic. It's basic. No, he's one of those that's touched by the one. It's strange to have one in Mexico. Because you usually see those in other countries, Brazil, Argentina,
shout out to
Spain,
Osorio.
and Osorio. Yeah, yeah, Osorio had a lot to do with him in terms of just giving them the opportunity. But it's him as well. No, it's sort of like the cool thing about him is that he gets shit done on the field, and out of the field, he's very calm, normal kid. No, it's a typical
He's a
16-year-old.
kid, man. He's a fucking kid.
And I think, he has a very, very, very nice support system, and the world is for him to conquer, not to conquer. That's how it is. It's up to him how he wants to take. But he's starting in next year in the World Cup. Being 17 years old, he's gonna start. So it's a very, very special time for Mexican football in that sense because, like I said, I mean, it's that sort of talent that simplifies the game, like Zidane simplified the game on the field.
And
No,
that's the thing with him. He's not fancy. He's just very simple in the right space. He might break some ankles, but it just might be a body feint and go this way. He's not compare him to what? Gio
like
dos
a
Santos?
Neymar
Yeah, yeah.
or even a Lamine Yamal. Lamine is is
Flashy.
spectacular. Yeah, splashy.
We kinda talked about it already before, but anyone else you think could possibly contribute? the next World Cup. I guess Vargas and Montiel.
Yeah, we talked a lot about those 2. I'm very intrigued with this defender Pachuca from Puebla. He's got had several he started several games. And the reason I say it is because his ability to be a center back and a right back. It's a very, very modern defender, strong, tall, has a good IQ, I would say. So I think Pachuca might be someone to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's what are your thoughts on the tactics? I feel like this team, their formation is weird. It's very, I don't know, it's exotic almost. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of information for the kids.
I
No, I
know
feel like it sometimes, and I understand that you want to confuse your opponent, but don't confuse your own players. So try to keep it as simple as possible. But it's good for them. It's good. It's an experience. And then we can be really critical on the coach. I mean, he didn't lose in the group of death, so whatever he's doing or
it's gravy.
implementing, it's working.
Yeah,
It's working. And now, they're in a situation against Chile where on paper, Chile is not Morocco, Spain, or Brazil. Mexico is put in a position where they have to show that they're better than Chile, no? And I think that's something that so far we haven't seen this team be in sort of that situation of, okay, you got the best player in the tournament. Make sure that you control and dominate the game. And we'll see. We'll find out if it
and
works out.
Chile is on a 2-game losing streak. They beat New Zealand and then they lost against Japan and Egypt. So they're
Yeah.
not coming into this game confident.
No, no, but they're the local team. I mean, they're gonna play in Valparaiso, I believe, and it's probably gonna be packed.
I mean, we know what that's like playing a youth World Cup at home. It helps.
It
It helps
helps.
a
It
lot.
it helps a lot. Ask Momia Gomez, and he played with a bloodied head and everything, and he still scored a chilena. I mean, I
Oh.
don't know if he would have done that if that was being played in Indonesia.
Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us so we can because as I said, we're recording this literally before Mexico takes on Chile in the World Cup. So we're gonna log off here, go watch that game. But Nayib, thanks for joining. Anything else you wanna let the fans know?
No, no, thanks, Raul, for the time, and let's hope that the Morita story keeps giving us joyous moments, no, just like it was in the Gold Cup. Why not think that they can win this Youth 20? Let's hope that they can do something.
Imaginemos cosas chingonas, ¿no?
Nada, como dijo el gran Javier Hernández, ¿no?
All right, man. Thanks for joining, Nayib. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.